Okay. Hello. Hey. Huh?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to. We're supposed to be live right now, but
Right.
no one's on.
Hold on.
Nope.
Oh, wow, what's that? Nobody's on?
What's that?
That's a little something for you.
Why?
Uh,
Oh. This cut? Is that a card? Do you want a birthday?
Do you want a birthday?
Yeah? No?
Who's gonna say?
Oh.
I'll tell you outside. What did she? I didn't do anything.
Like a little side note. Thank you, dear.
Wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you. I tried to do that at one point, so nice.
Right?
Yeah, we learned. Did you just put some on?
Whatever, I'm not gonna go live, I'm gonna be on. Unless they're having problems getting on.
What?
Hello? We have one viewer, but I can't see who they are. Can you text me? 206-235-8852. We haven't started yet. And I'm trying to figure this out. Chat. Ooh, no. Nature. Hang tight. Can you hear me? Oh. All right then. What? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute. We're gonna get started here. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you can hear and see. There's my living room. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute. We're gonna get started here. Good. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you can hear. Okay, we can turn that off. Anyway, we're just gonna be casual. I don't know who's viewing online, but hopefully they're. Oh, people couldn't figure it out. Okay, you guys all ready? You want to come in or you want to hang out there? It's up to you. I don't care where you sit, but know that you're welcome to. I
Be careful not to fall.
had a friend of mine one time that we had a really nice couch over. Not really nice. I loved it. It was like a lounge couch. And my friend would she'd come over for training and she'd fall asleep.
Did you see me yesterday? I was almost falling asleep. I don't know if you've seen. It's really good too.
Yes.
I know. It's so much more comfortable than that leather. Okay. Okay. Maybe this time doesn't work for people. Back. East, I guess. I don't know. Wherever we are. Well, whoever's online can just act like they're in the living room. We're just gonna hang out. So I don't really have anything to hand out, you guys, because I wanted to just share with you how to do an effective one-on-one. Because what you hear in Advocare a lot is like how to use the success system. And I know that, hold on. Alan, can you help somebody? I wish I knew how to do this. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can add her. Hold on. Screen share, chat. Wish I knew how to do this. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's go. Wow. Share an invite. Bummer. Kayla. I don't know. Wonder if you just can't get on. It says that you like she can't click on anything. Wonder if you can't get on once it's live. No, because I was live earlier. She has to download the app. That's what she has to do. Okay. Anyway, we let her know she has to download the app.
She does.
That's what I have to do. Is that her? Anyway. Okay. So I'm gonna try and show this in the camera. I don't know if that is fine. It looks backwards to me. Okay. I need something to prop this up on. I don't know how to do this. This is the fun part about trying to do this live. Okay. So here's our success system. You saw this the other night, right? So the success system is just a wheel that Advocare created that you want to just follow. If you follow this, there's no way you can fail because there's a system that they created for you to be successful. And it's not hard. It's just the only reason that Advocare is hard is because we're dealing with people. Some people you won't ever get through this.
Right.
Some people you'll get here and you won't get past here. Some people you'll get here and you won't get past here. I mean, I just had 2 people that I did a one-on-one with. And then my next step is I put them in this part because that's the next step. So I got him to a mixer, actually. And then, so maybe I missed this step, but I got him here. And then now here I got him on product. And then I can't get him anything else. They won't, because I don't know. It's just timing for people. So it's not that I did this wrong, because you can't do this wrong. Go ahead. You can't do this wrong. It's just this is how to be successful. So, hi. But what a lot of people do is they end up beating themselves up because they think it's their fault that they can't get people through here. Well, I mean, I make $7,000 a month and I still can't sometimes get people through it. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of freedom to know that, like, not everyone's going to go through the system.
Yeah.
Not everyone likes the products.
Yeah.
You know, I had someone that I followed up with today, and she just literally said, hey, you know what? Because she wanted the business. She wanted to make $500 a month. She was going to go to advisor, and she just, life happened. And she was like, you know what? She goes, well, we might want to move the dog. She just emailed me back, and I was having a hard time getting a hold of her. And she's like, you know what? My life is so crazy right now. She goes, I'm on the challenge right now. She goes, I'm not going to do the business right now. Great. Thanks for letting me know where you're at, because I'm totally fine with that. But I'm still going to do my best to keep following up with her, keep dripping on her, and get her to something. My next goal is to get her to a big corporate event. And the timing's got to be for her, not for me. So what I wanted to share is really how to do an effective one-on-one, because if you don't do this, you'll never be able to get through this. So we want to make sure that you're confident. I mean, everyone that's here, confident on having a really good, effective one-on-one. But with that being said, we want to make sure that you're not the one that's sharing the whole piece of Advocare with them.
Right.
Because that's called Advocare suicide. Because it's not that you can't get them through this. And the reason why Advocare has us together is because people, it's like peeling an onion. People need layers of conviction. So what happens here is it's you, because you have the relationship with them. So remember that even when you're talking to a stranger, it's all about the relationship. So it goes you with the relationship. They trust you to get in front of someone that they don't know. So when you do a 3-way call, just like with your sister, she trusts you to get on the phone with me because you didn't know enough to share with her, which is absolutely perfect. Because if you shared with her what you know, let's say you're in Advocare for about a month and you know a little bit now, when you know too much, they make a decision if it's for them or not. And people don't ever get to this place, and then they're like, well, how come my business isn't moving? Well, Charlie Regis created this. It works. And I don't know why it works. I just know it works. It's like, it's that duplication process where you're trying to tell, Paris, let's do this, or let's do this, and she's just not hearing it through her filter, through you. But if her friend comes around and says, hey, let's do this, and it's the same thing you've been asking her to do, oh, that sounds good. And you're like, wait a second, I just asked you to do that, but she's going to hear it through a different filter. That's why our success system works and why Charlie Regis put it together. So when you have your friend and you're doing a one-on-one, and then it's you plus your leader, 3-way phone calls are just an introduction to your leader. 3-way phone calls are great, just like we did the other night, where you put yourself on mute because you're just learning. The more 3-way phone calls you can do, or more 2-on-ones you can do, the better you're going to learn and the more money you're going to make. Yeah.
So today with my coworker, he just kept edging for more information. I'm just like, I don't know, but we can do this 3-way call. We can do this conference call. He's like, okay, well, I want to see it work on you first. I was like, look at me, I'm good.
Yep. And that's funny because people will watch you. You can plant the seed and they're going to watch you either succeed or fail. That's what they're waiting for. But once you succeed, because you have the relationship, then they're going to follow you.
Yeah. He said that. That was his first thing he said. He said, if this works, I'm going to follow you.
Yep.
And that's before I started talking to him about anything of that.
And that's so good. I hope everyone on the call heard this, because people want to follow someone that's going somewhere. And so like we talked about that last night, if you eat pizza on day 2 of your 24-day challenge, nobody's going to follow that. They're not. You're posting on Facebook, you're drinking a glass of wine, doing the 24-day challenge, no one's going to follow that, If you introduce Advocare to someone, every single person that you know is watching you. Everything that you do, they're watching. Every move you make, they're watching to see. They want you to fail. Because society, these things don't work.
Right.
So if you rise above and you're like, heck no, I'm a champion.
Right.
I'm going to be a champion. This is going to work, period, end of story. And they're going to follow you. They're going to go, well, wait a second. Now I want what you have. So true. All of our friends watched us. And some of our friends never, ever, ever did anything with Advocare. Most of our friends didn't, our closest friends, because we were in a different place in our life. And so we were drinking and partying and doing this, that, and the other. And we wanted a lifestyle change. So when Advocare came along, we were ready to have that lifestyle change where our friends, they just didn't follow that lifestyle change. And we're totally cool with it. We don't care. I mean, to each his own. But anyway, so this is you plus your leader. So when you're new, when you're trying to build a team of people, a residual income up to about $80,000 a year, if that's what you want, if you're looking for time freedom, which I'm talking to you guys because I know you are, or whoever's on this call, whatever income you want to employ your leader. And the reason is because your leader knows how to guide you on how to build a team. So like my team in Kentucky, I have Whitney, who I think some of the people are on the call. Whitney is really the one that's doing all these, but I've got my hand on the whole Kentucky team because I'm pretty much leading until I can get Whitney up to the Ruby level. And then once Whitney's there, now where the duplication process starts. So my goal would be to get you, teach you, mentor you, train you, do everything with you, help you build your team. We do everything together. That's where we lock arms. Where you talk to someone, you talk to me. So you don't do anything without your leader. Except for the one-on-one. That you have to do, right? So people get so fearful. They're like, I don't want to do this without my leader. Don't have that mindset. There's things you want to do without your leader, right? You cannot fail in this business. You can only get better. You can only learn and get better. The two things that I've always done. I've done some really crazy, stupid stuff on my own. And I'm like, oh, check, won't do that again. Because I had to learn through it, you know? So, and the reason why you want your leader is because you're like me. I've built to Emerald. I know how to build a great organization. So if you don't utilize someone that's going to go before you or someone that's already done it, that don't make sense to me. I want to know how Janelle got to Diamond. So that's why I keep going to her mixers. I keep going. I'm learning right beside her. Now she's not building my business anymore, but she built me up to Ruby because she had her hand on my business. So whenever I had advisors, she had her hand on their advisor business as well. So that's what I'm going to do with you guys. So whoever you bring in, I treat them as if I just brought them in myself. And we lock arms with them too, which is nice because that's the leadership team that you have, which is unheard of. It's I don't know any other way because that's how Janelle mentored me and that's how Wayne mentored Janelle. I don't know any other way. And so some people say, well, that's just, I've gotten into this, thing and people left me. I'm like, I don't get it. Because that's how we rise up in leadership levels on Advocare anyway. So, okay. So a 3-way phone call is what we did the other night. It's you plus your friend, and we do either a conference call or on your cell phone, just a 3-way phone call. What you want to do is introduce your leader properly. So you just want to say, hey, this is my friend, and don't use leader, don't use mentor. I mean, you can use mentor, I guess, but you can just say friend. You don't need to use any weird verbiage, just friend. Hey, this is my friend Angie. She's locked arms with me. She's super successful in Advocare. She's built up to about $7,000 a month, and we're just following her lead. She's coaching me and teaching me. But first and foremost, I'm your friend, right? I mean, I'm mentoring you, but we don't want to use any weird verbiage. And then just say, so Angie, this is, my sister, and I shared Advocare with her, and she's really interested in this, whether it's product or business. That's the perfect way to set up a call. And then from there, you're like, from there, you can say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to mute myself out. I'll be on the line, but I'm here learning. Just mute yourself out. Because what you never, ever want to do is interrupt your leader. Because your leader is absolutely going somewhere with the conversation. My 3-way phone calls, and probably every leader that you ever talked to in Advocare, are all the same because we've all gotten trained by the same leaders in Advocare. So you mute your line. I'm going to ask a ton of questions. I'm going to find out. I'm going to get to know them. I'm going to do what we call FORM, which is family, occupation, recreation, in my message. If I'm talking to a 19-year-old, I'm not going to talk about that I have time freedom staying at home, being a mom, right? So I need to form them. I need to ask them, tell me about yourself. What do you do for work? How do you know Derek? How do you know Paris? Tell me about yourself. So I'll ask them a bunch of questions, and then my job is to paint vision.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to edify you because you're trying to share Advocare with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got like excitement, right? And now you're like, hey, this may or may not be for you. So my job is to come in, edify what you've shared with them, and bring strength and credibility to you. That's my job. And to connect with them. Connect with them to build trust so I can lead you properly. So like I sent your sister, I think I CC'd you both.
Yeah.
I don't have yours, but I have Paris's, but I CC'd and I sent your sister a webinar on Wednesday. Now what you want to do is make sure that she's on it.
Okay.
So you want to be on it yourself and then call her right before, half an hour to an hour before, whatever. Say, hey, are you going to get on? I would call her that day. Hey, did you get that link? Are you going to be on the webinar?
Okay.
Because that's part of our success system.
Gotcha.
And then what I always do, if I invite one of my prospects on a webinar, I'll just say, hey, are you going to go on the webinar? Because I want to know. I don't want to guess. I hope they're on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. Are you going to be on? Because I hate not knowing.
Yeah.
If they say yes, I'm like, great. I make sure I'm on because I want to know what they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I'll call them after. Hey, what'd you think? Just curious. Why guess? Alan, can you do me a favor? Can you go get my little stool that's in the bedroom? I can't sit like this.
On the one about it.
And then a 2-on-1 in person is always going to be the best way to share Advocare. Always, because, and here's why, because it's a trust thing. It's a relationship thing. Your friend's never going to trust me unless they build a relationship with me. They just won't. It just boils down to a trust issue. Oh, my feet are asleep. Okay.
Are you asleep?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Oh, much better. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So a 2-on-1 is the same thing as a 3-way phone call, except for it's just more personal. They can't see me on a 2-on-1. We can do FaceTiming. And this Google, once I figure this Google Plus out, I thought that you could see me. I mean, I could see you, but anyway, whatever we can do to get in front of them. So a 2-on-1 is just you're learning. You invited your friend to come and hear more. Could be at your house. I'd love to do them at Starbucks just because it's a great central location. Somewhere that's quiet. You don't want to have food though. You want to make sure. So I'm just kind of prepping you what that looks like. When you have a friend, make sure that you're bringing a spark and a water for them. So if we meet at Starbucks, get there ahead of time before your friend gets there because you want to make sure they don't drink a coffee because you want to spark them right then and there.
Yep.
I always forget to tell people that, and I'm like, oh, they show up and they're drinking coffee. I'm like, darn it. Dang it, I wish I would have told them that. So I just always make sure now that I'm 10, 15 minutes ahead of time, get a seat, get ready. And a couple things that I put down here is like, if you treat this as a business, you will get paid like a business. If you treat people join Advocare and they think it's a quick, rich, fast moving business, and it's not. It's a journey, it's a process, but you can get extremely wealthy if you're being coachable, teachable, and being led, and you follow the system and you're talking to people. You can get really wealthy. Obviously, you've seen that with Mike and Janelle, and I mean, I wouldn't call us wealthy, but we're happy. Maybe we are wealthy in the spirit, right? Okay. So from here, me, your leader, is going to lead you. So if I connect with your friend, if I've got that relationship with them, then I can help lead them to the next thing. Just like I did, send them an email because you're so new. I don't expect you to know anything except for just follow. Just follow. A lot of people try and figure everything out. And for me, I built a Ruby in 6 months because I didn't try and figure everything out. The only thing I knew how to do was talk to people, and I understood this really, really well. And I was excellent at talking to people. I had influence. I'm a people person. I think if you have those skills, people want to follow personality, really. So then from here, we gather to a mixer. A lot of times people want to jump from here to here, and they've never done this process, and you'll have no-show mixers. The only reason why you have no-show mixers is because you haven't properly followed the success system. Some people will come to mixers based on your relationship with them. Hey, will you come? I'm having this get together at my house. Brand new, you guys are new, so when you're new, it's easier to get people. But when you start to kind of go through your warm market and you're like, gosh, I can't get anybody coming to my mixers. I don't have anybody coming to my mixers because I'm not out there prospecting. I'm not out there. I don't have a plethora of people on product yet. So if I don't have a plethora of people on product, why on earth would I try and even have a mixer? I'd have no shows all the time.
Right.
So to me, that doesn't make sense either. So then from a mixer, we're able to have a small gathering. Mixers are 3 to 5 people. They're not meant to be tons of people. Okay. So from there, when you gather, you just take that chunk of 3 or 4, and then you gather them to the next event. From here, they usually get on product or they sign up. From here, once they sign up, now we have a system that we follow up with them, and that's a whole nother training in itself, the 24-day challenge or products, or whatever they're on. Then from there, we go to a BOM. A BOM stands for Business Opportunity Meeting. And what that is where the leaders, Diamonds, Wayne and Bethany, the big diamonds in the Northwest, they come together with all their teams, and they are the ones that are doing the training on stage. And we do it usually in Bellevue at the Champion Center. And the whole purpose of doing that, and if you're long distance, there's, I don't even know if anybody's on. Are you still on, Ellen? Oh. So if you're long distance, go to your website and click on events and find out where the next BOM is, because there's an event in your area. There's always an event in an area. But from here, this is where the big vision is caught. This is where your friend's sitting in that chair going, yeah, I want to do this. People will recruit themselves. And if I can get them here and they still say no, there's really not much more that I do with that, because they're just flat out not interested. They're flat stubborn. And if they're that stubborn, I'm not going to try and drag someone through, because I will not try and convince people to join my team. I don't need to. There's yeses out there.
Yeah.
And I'm just determined to find them. If it's a no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I move on, because I have a purpose and I have that vision ahead of me on what I want. So if I can't get them here, or if I do get them there and they still say no, then it's like, there's something wrong with you. I mean, then they're so skeptical, they're not going to filter anything through. So because this is so inspiring, there's people up on stage talking about their story. There's business stories up on stage. They're an average people. Then there's product stories, results, average people. You hear just tons of different results, and you're just like, wow, just like you. Like, how do I not want to be a part of this culture? But some people don't, and that's okay. Our job is just to do this. If you can do this over and over and over, and they still say no, it takes your responsibility out, because that's where I wish people wouldn't beat themselves up over it, because we can't get into other people's brains. You just can't. Excuse me. So then from the BOM, we do once a quarter, we do a doctor event, or corporate will come in and do some sort of event, because everything that we do on this success wheel leads to success school. So every 6 months, we have a success school. We have one, the national success school is in Dallas, in Texas. That is, you cannot do this business without coming. You can't. I mean, you can make $500 to $100 to $1,000, but not wealth. You can't. I don't know anybody that's ever made wealth in Advocare that's never come to school, because your goal is to go and take people with you from this wheel. So if you do this right, and you think of this like a business, if you do this right, you're going to have a plethora of people coming to school with you, because you're building an organization is what you're doing. That makes sense? So from the quarterly event, and heading in, because we're heading into June now, so we have 3 more months until we head into Success School. So our next big event is Ladies Alive. So that's where you want to get as many people as possible to Ladies Alive with you, because from there, if they catch a vision there, you won't be able to unconvince them to come to school. Yeah. Because once I went to Success School, that's when I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew Advocare got in me. I knew that I was going to be a part of this company. That's where you really catch the vision. Everything that we do leads up to the school. Everything. And then when you get an advisor, someone says, yeah, I want to do the business, we say the same thing. You cannot do this business without coming to school. You got to come. Because what happens, this is a duplication process. I had one person come to my very first Success School with me, because I didn't understand the power of it, and I didn't have the strength to get people there. I thought, you know what, let me go. Let me see what it's all about. And then I'm just a visual person. It's like going to Disneyland and trying to explain the rides. It's almost impossible, right? Get in my head, get in my body, and be there in the rides with me. Feel my stomach churning, feel the high, feel the low. It's impossible. Once I was there, I'm just like, I love the art of promotion. So I talked at every single mixer, 2-on-1, 3-way call. I talked about Success School to everybody. So then from there, we had like 16 people come with us next time. So think about that. You have 16 people that want to build the business. They're out there talking to people, building more and more people, building. And then from there, we had like 32 our next school. So every time we went, we would double it. Because that's the power of one person. You might bring 3 people. Well, we just doubled it, right? So then it compelled. We had 80 people. Well, 2 years ago, we had about 80 people come to Texas with us.
Wow.
That's how we're hitting the big money that we're making. Because all those 80 people catch a vision. They're out there talking to people. Orders are going in, our business. You know what I mean? And we have like $30,000 or more every 2 weeks go through our organization. So that's the power of the success wheel. And just keep in mind, and anybody on this call, not everybody will go through it. If they don't, it's totally cool. You just do your best to get them through it. And if they don't, they don't. It's just the art of influence.
Yeah.
You know, I have a gal that, like I said, I did a one-on-one, I did a mixer. I can't even get her to return my phone calls, which is normal because people don't want to let you down. So they feel bad because maybe they failed on the 24-day challenge and they're like, oh, they're calling me and I ate pizza last night. I feel horrible. So you don't know what's going on behind their doors.
Right.
So just don't take it personal. Just love on them. You know, I told the girl today, I said, hey, I still want to cultivate a relationship with you because I don't know her. I just met her at an event. I said, I still want to, you know, it's okay if you don't want to do the business, but let me help you get success in the 24-day challenge and let's build a friendship.
Yeah.
Because in due time, she might do the business. I don't know. I still want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
And then my other friend, she's just so darn busy. I can't get her to return my phone calls. But I still love her, and I'm still going to do my best to get her to an event, and just keep doing it. But in the meantime, I'm out there prospecting more. Okay? Cool. So now we understand the wheel. I'll go over how to do a really good one-on-one. And then this is key too. Build a team of like-minded people. The only time you ever get frustrated in this business is if you're working with not like-minded people. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine a couple days ago, and she's like, where did integrity go in people? Your word is your word. You say you're going to be somewhere. Be on time. Be a champion. Have a champion mindset, because that you're going to attract that. Be positive. Speak life. You're going to attract those like-minded people, right?
Yeah.
I remember when we were, when I wasn't feeling very good, when my mom died, I wasn't attracting like-minded people because I was just super negative. I was like, and then I was like, how come I'm not attracting champions? It's like, well, am I really being a champion? I really wasn't at the time, right? So, and if you want to learn how to be a champion, you could read tons of books to get in your brain of, you know, positive. That CD that I gave you is fabulous, by the way. You'll love it. That was one of my first CDs. It's called Jim Rohn, Build Your Networking Business or something like that. But I was driving down the road like just bawling because it was so impactful to me, because he talked about how like you're working full-time at your job but part-time on your fortune. And it was so powerful. And you can say that to your friends like, hey, I'm working full-time on my job, but I'm working part-time on my fortune or my wealth. I'm building a wealth. What are you building? Advocare. Have you ever heard of it? You're not being cheesy. It's your truth. You're building a wealth, and you've got proof that it has been done, right? And then some of your to-dos consistently is have pay period goals. Know your pay periods. The first Tuesday of the month and the third Tuesday of the month, they close. So to effectively build the business, you have 2 weeks basically to do the success goal wheel. And this takes time. It's not overnight, right? But it depends on how many one-on-ones you're doing. If you do 10 one-on-ones within a pay period, you're going to have a plethora of people to go through to get on 3-way phone calls or 2-on-1s, right? If you're only talking to one person a pay period, you're going to have a really slow moving business. It might take you 6 months to a year to make $500 or $1,000. But if you're talking to 10 people in a pay period, that's 20 people a month. So you make your own goals. There's no one here that's going to tell you what to do. You come to me and say, hey, I want to make $3,000 a month by this date. I'll be really real with you and tell you exactly what you need to do and to make that kind of money. Because I've done it, and I know how to do it, and I know how much work it takes, how much time to put in. You talk to 10 people a day, and you're going to be moving super fast. because you're not all 10 is going to say yes.
Right.
So you're just sharing your story with 10 people a day, but you might get 3 out of 10. You get 3 out of 10. That's a lot of people during a pay period.
Yeah.
So you choose your pace. So spend time writing down, okay, what are our goals? Like we have a whiteboard.
Mhm.
So this one, like this whiteboard, and I love writing down my goals. Every goal I've ever hit in Advocare is because I wrote it down.
Hmm.
I'm just pretty precise on what is my goal? How much money do I want to make? Or even just having a goal, like
Yeah.
now you're advisor, okay, our next goal is to get rid of it. Right? How many people are we going to talk to a day? Pay period is 2 weeks long. Are we going to talk to 10? Are we going to talk to 30? So have fun with it as you're working. This is a business, so your doors are open now. And now you got to find people to come in and buy your products,
Yeah.
right? So this is why it's so imperative for you to make a list of people that you're going to talk to and then go through that list, because you don't have people walking into your living room buying product right off your shelf. You have to get out there and talk to people. Okay?
My friend today, he was like, how much is it? I'll buy some right now from the Spark.
Yeah, I'd sell it right then and there.
Yeah, I didn't have any boxes.
Oh, bring it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Get it out there.
yeah.
Heck yeah, man. I had $3,000 worth of Spark.
Mm-hmm.
My main mission was to get rid of it. I didn't care about this yet. I was
Yeah.
just like, let me just get a plethora of people on product and then I'll follow this. So I did. I was just on a mission. I had so many people on product, you guys. Tons of people on product. Now is another thing that I wanted to talk about on how to do a one-on-one, because this doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a mess for a while as long as you're being coached,
Yeah.
right? If you throw all this stuff out there, make sure you're calling me and telling me what you're doing,
Yeah.
because you can't do this wrong.
Yeah.
You just can't.
So every time that we talk, just call you afterwards.
Yeah. Just say, hey, this is what I did. I sold a box of Spark today. That's incredible.
Yeah, I text you that.
You don't have to do that with me. Sell it. Get them on product. That's my main goal. Get people on product. My main goal is get a box of Spark or a canister on someone's kitchen counter, because it took me a box of Spark to join this business. I would have never in a million years had Janelle pushed me here. I wouldn't have done it. I would have backed off. It would have been one of those things. I wouldn't have done it. So what I did is I did a great one-on-one with her. I bought product. And then from there, when she followed up with me, I actually called her back, but it took me 2 weeks to call her back.
Mm.
I was on product for 2 weeks. I bought a box of Spark. It's a 2-week supply, right? So I needed to do my research. She did a great one-on-one with me, a great one-on-one. She just shared her story with me, and she had the bulletproof shield. And that's all she did with me, which led me so curious. I needed to know more information. But she's just like, you know what? I'm having a mixer if you want to come. I'm like, yeah, I don't do those home parties. Like, that was not me. I didn't have time. So just know when you're talking to people, you're getting all this training that sounds great. But when you go out to the real world and you're talking to your friends, it's not going to sound this great. It's going to be all over the place. You're like, wait, I just got back from my training last night. This was so perfect in my head. And it doesn't look that way. But if you got product on hand, get it out there and then call me.
All right.
Get it out there as fast as you can. Because think about it. If you had 30 people on product, you've got 30 people on product. That's fantastic. Yeah?
We got a lot.
Yeah, you do. You want to sell it. Okay. So make a list of people and work from your list. It's so fun to work from a list, because then the pay period's not happening to you. You're controlling your pay period. Because if you let this happen to you, it's really hard to build an organization, because things are just happening and you're not. Ellen, is that people trying to get on? Oh, is she on?
No.
Oh.
She's trying to get on her iPhone, and I can't get on my iPhone either.
Oh. Oh. Well, good to know we won't do that again, but I tried. So, I'm sorry, I lost my thought. Oh, yeah, I mean, you want to control your pay periods. If you have a vision and you know what your vision is and you just work towards that vision, it's so much easier to do this, because you're not letting things happen to you.
Right.
Plus, you're working full time. This is part time on your hours that you're not working, nights and weekends. Carve it out when you're going to do it. You know, it could be 2 nights a week, it could be 3 nights a week, but carve some time out, and then work it when you have time. But work from your list, because it helps you keep yourself on track. You know what I mean? It's like right now you've got, okay, sister Anthony, and then guy from work, another person, put those down on your list.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I did is I had a column. I'd have so I'd have a big whiteboard and I have a prospect list. And then over here, I'd make another column and like retail. So I'd see, okay, did they buy retail? Because if I can get a plethora of people on retail products, I can move those retail customers into the next column, which is distributor. That's my vision. So my vision is always retail, prospect, retail, distributor to advisor. The advisor may not want the business, but I'm going to get them to 40%, get their top discount on the products.
Right.
So that's my whole vision when I see people. They don't always go to advisor, but at least I do my best to get them there. And then a couple things to master would be to master the Bulletproof Shield, which we'll go over, and then master your story. Those are the two things that are going to build your confidence. So you're not feeling stupid when you're talking to people. Because I know what that feels like, and you're like, did you get it?
Not on my iPhone.
Oh. It's hard to say I don't know, especially to your friends. When they're drilling you with questions and you're like, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I really don't know. They follow your passion and your excitement. They really do. But that's where your Bulletproof Shield comes in, because I've had people, I could talk to a personal trainer. Now, it took me time to get that confident, but I talked to a personal trainer. I would have talked to, someone that's certified in nutrition, because I was so confident in who formulates our products, because I did my research. I know the Bulletproof Shield. I know the doctors. And so I was so confident in that I wonder if that's yummy, that I didn't care what their objection was. It didn't matter to me. That you definitely want to master. Oh. So any questions on this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's just a one-on-one question
Uh-huh.
with you and the friend. So you said it's just story bulletproof.
Well, I'm going to go into how to do effective one.
Yeah. Because like you said, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do the suicide.
Right.
Because you do have the passion, like you said.
Yeah.
You just don't got the information or just.
Well, the best thing that here's some don't do's. Okay. Right. What you don't want to do is go into the whole business side of it. Right. You don't want to go into, well, you get paid 5 ways and you da-da-da-da, because that's Advocare suicide. Yeah. Or, hi.
Hey, good evening. Hey, what's up, guys?
Good. We're live here. So these guys come on in and you can pick up where we started here.
She smells so good.
I've done some I've prepped some meals today, so I haven't had a chance to even put it away.
Hey Angie, it's nice seeing you again.
Yeah. I was like, what is that? Where are you going with that? Oh.
Don't do this. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Where's your son?
He sat down to the table and is on my iPad.
Oh, okay. I wonder does he want to go in the office so that's not distracting the noise, or can he turn it down maybe? Thank you. He can go in my office though too.
I don't know if people, where's the office?
Right around the corner.
Okay, I was talking about the product, but I started talking about the business too.
Yeah.
Like just seeing I was talking about how much money could come in and how much.
Well, see, here's why it's important to get your story down, because again, remember, you want to have some sort of hook for someone to say, tell me more.
Yeah.
If you're all over the place and you're like, well, this person's making money and that person's making money, that's when they're saying, I'm going to see what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're getting that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's the cool part about getting mentored. It's okay. I've done it. You're getting mentored.
Right.
If you don't call me and say, this is what I did, how on earth am I ever going to coach you on, I've done the same thing. But I called Janelle and said, this is what I did. What would you have done differently? That's mentorship. That's how to learn how to be successful at the business. When you're brand new, you're not successful right now. you're in like this tank of like total learning.
And you're scared.
Right. Yeah, it's like it's a big world out here, and it's scary, and you don't want to do it wrong. You don't want to look stupid, and you just know that you can make money, but you don't understand how, and
Right.
you're gonna throw up all over your friends, and they're gonna tell you you're crazy, and they're like, I'm gonna watch you, but you're like, but wait, I need you to come with me, and I don't get it. Yes, no, I get it.
Okay.
So the cool part about it is when you go talk to people, you call me.
Okay.
This is who I talk to, and I'm gonna say, great job.
Mhm.
This is what works effectively, because that's the only way you can learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, by looking at this, it looks pretty scary to me.
Does
I mean,
it?
it's steps, but I'm just saying, like, how do you all start this? I mean,
Well, that's what I'm gonna teach right now. I'm gonna teach you how to start it.
Yes,
Yeah. Because you missed my whole training on the
Yeah.
wheel, but that's okay. That's okay. If it's overwhelming, then you're in a perfect spot right now
Yeah.
to learn how to do an effective one-on-one.
So when people, when they do say, I'm gonna watch you, you just do your product and they come back and be like, this is what happened.
Oh man, when people say that to me, I take it on as such a huge challenge. I'm like, watch me. You'll be back. I'll be back. Because they are going to watch you. It might take 30 days for you to convince them. But they're going to watch you. They're going to watch your body change.
Yeah.
They're going to watch your attitude change. They're going to watch you become a different person. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago with Advocare. And I had all my coworkers tell me no, and every single one of them told me no.
Mhm.
I didn't care. I didn't care. They don't determine my success.
Sure.
No determines my success.
Right.
Like I said, I was persistent with my no's because it challenged me. And I just knew that my message needed to either get better or I need to get more confident in myself. So just know that. It's okay that you talked about Advocare. It's just, that's why you come to training. Every training, you're going to learn one thing. Not everything you'll learn. So if this is overwhelming, take 1 to 2 things out of it that you can learn and run with it.
Yeah.
You can't learn this business overnight. You can't even learn it in a month. It's time. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I was talking about real quick, and then I'm going to go into how to do effective one-on-one, but this is your starting point. The things that you want to learn are pay periods. So this is a business. If you treat it like a business, you'll get paid like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you can make great extra income. But if you want to make a wealthy business, and you want to have residual income for the rest of your life, you want to treat it like a business. So we have pay periods, just like you do at a job. You get paid every 2 weeks, right? Some people get paid once a week, but you get paid every 2 weeks. So what you do during the 2 weeks will pay you a check, an Advocare. So our last check was, I don't know what it was. We average about $3,200 every 2 weeks. So whatever I do in that 2 week time frame determines my paycheck. So I'm working it as a business. Who am I talking to today? Who am I helping today? Who am I helping get to advisor? I mean, I'm doing the effective things that right now what you guys need to do is do one-on-ones. Okay? Because you don't have a team yet. So how many one-on-ones am I going to do this pay period? How many people am I going to talk to? How many people am I going to share my story with this pay period? Because it's so fun. To me, that's fun. I love learning. That's one of my driving needs in life. I love to learn. And so if I do it wrong, I'm going to call Janelle and go, what did I do wrong? And tell me how to get better. Because in the next pay period, I've got a whole new 2 weeks to do something different. And it's so fun. Okay, all those people said no. All right, I learned. New people. That's why your list is so important. Each person knows about 250 people. So you want to make a list. I literally just went on Facebook and found 110 people that I've not talked to ever about Advocare. After 5.5 years. Either I shouldn't say ever. Excuse me. Either I talked to them or they said no, and I'm going to circle back after 5 years. Matter of fact, I just had a gal today. Have you ever heard of that? You're not on Facebook. I want to get one. There's a buy-sell trade. This is a gal that I used to know 3 years ago. And she used to be in a networking group that I was in. And there's a thing called buy, sell, trade on Facebook. It's a community. Do you know what it is? Every community has one. It's called buy, sell, trade. And it's where it's like a garage sale on Facebook. They're groups. So there could be 1,000 people in a group. So in Lake Tap, there's a buy, sell, trade. So I saw on there today that my friend on Facebook commented on a gal that was selling another weight loss program, Plexus or something. So she commented saying, hey, can you PM me information? I immediately went to her inbox. And I said, hey, not trying to stalk you, but I noticed that you commented about Plexus. I still sell Advocare. Would you give me an opportunity to share with you how I can help you lose weight? And she emailed me back and she's like, what's the difference between Plexus and Advocare. And I said, give me your number and I'll call you. I'm waiting for her to respond back. So I put her on my list.
Mm-hmm.
She's a prospect,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's fun for me. So you want to work your list. Always, always, always have a list. So like my list. I'm done with this. So when you're brand new, you got to look through your phone, your circle of influence, aunts, uncles, cousins, mom, dad, friends, best friends. It's a list. It's a working list. Okay, so you work through them first, and I'm going to teach you how to do that, how to be effective at it. And then from there, so we want to work with 30 people at a time. So like I said to these guys earlier, you might blow through 30 people in 1 month. That's totally up to you.
What you mean work with 30 people out?
Oh, sorry. You probably don't want to see that view. It's like right there. What?
What you mean work with 30 people at a time?
I'm sorry. So what you want to do is share your story and do effective one-on-ones with at least try
30 people.
with 30 people. So like I have a list. So I only have 10 people on my list because I'm out there prospecting because I don't know anybody.
Right.
I mean, I've already worked my warm market.
Mhm.
So I have to go out and make new friends.
Right.
So it takes me longer.
Right.
So you just are walking outside?
No,
and
so like what I'll do, like I made a list of where to meet people. So my list of where to meet people is networking. There's
Mhm.
networking groups that I can join. There's meetup.com. There's free networking groups. So there's a Business Networking International. There's a Chamber of Commerce, stuff like that. So I can get around people consistently. And then I put Jim, the dog park.
Mhm.
People to walk their dogs. They're
Yeah.
friendly people. Take a class. Chamber of Commerce, volunteer, salon, spa, banker. So I just made Bella an appointment to get her groomed. I want to make friends with the dog groomer.
Yep.
I want to make friends with the dry cleaner down the street. I want to make friends in my community. So my goal is to make 30 new friends. So it's going to take me longer because I'm not out there going to go spark a total. Some people do, and they're very effective at it. It's not my personality. I can. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if you go to a restaurant, get super, super intentional. Meet your waiter, your waitress. Form them. Family, occupation, recreation, and message. So family. Hey, how long have you worked here? I love asking people that. How long have you worked here?
Mhm.
You been here long? My husband's so good at making new friends because he's so friendly. If you're not friendly, there's a great book out there called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
So friends show you
Do you want to build wealth in this business? If you want to build wealth, you're going to learn new skills,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're going to read books that you normally wouldn't have read. My husband never read a book before Advocare, not one.
Mm.
What's R stand for again?
R is recreation. What do you do for fun? So family, tell me, are you married? Do you have kids? You're just being friendly. Are you going to be uncomfortable doing it if you're not a friendly person? Absolutely.
Mhm.
So how bad do you want to make wealth? Right?
And the M, I'm sorry,
Message.
message.
So your message could be like, we met a gal, she was our waitress. This was so fun. This was a great training.
Mhm.
She was met her at Red Robin, and Alan, we were having dinner with a couple friends of ours, and Alan's just super friendly. He's called her by her first name. That's another key nugget. Call people by their first name if they have a name tag. So how's your Amina doing today is what my husband loves to say. How's your Amina doing today? He's got a big grin. See, it makes you smile, right? You hear your name and it makes you smile. That's in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's such a good training nugget, you guys. Seriously, try it. Just try it. And then, so you'll say, I'm fine, or I'm good. And so Alan will say, how long have you worked here? This lady was like, I've worked here for about a year. I'm just doing this part-time while I'm going to school full-time. I'm like, oh, what are you going to school for? People love to talk about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to school for? Oh, she goes, I want to be a teacher.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in Spokane? Do you want to go further? Like, where do you want to live? Well, I don't know. Are your parents from here? Like, did you grow up here? You just start naturally curious about their life. Like, don't even think about Advocare. Just be curious about their life. And then you'll hear a ding, ding, ding when you're going to share Advocare with them, right? Because you're just going to get better and better and better. You start laughing at me.
No, I mean, this is good.
Good. Okay, good. Like, why are you laughing at me? Okay. So next thing you know, she says, my parents grew up here and they used to own 2 gyms. I'm like, what? Now all of a sudden, Angie's getting
Yeah.
involved in this conversation because this is Alan over here. I was listening,
Yeah.
and I go, "What?" I said, "What gym?" And she told the gym. I said, "Have you ever heard of Advocare?" Now this is another training nugget. Yes, I have. Now don't shut down when someone says, "Yes, I have."
Mhm.
Say, "Have you ever tried the products?"
Hmm.
Have you ever tried it? She goes, "No, I haven't." Oh, great. Guess who you just met? Angie and Alan Eustace, and we're gonna spark you. So always have water on hand. Always have water bottles in your car. Okay.
So for the sampling.
Yeah. So here's what we did.
Okay.
So I told Alan. So I'm gonna give you a little training nugget on this. Where's my spark? Oh, well, you can visualize with me. So I said, Alan, I said, you haven't tried Advocare? She goes, no. I said, oh, girl, tonight is your lucky night.
Hmm.
And I'm not normally like this, you guys. I'm a really reserved person when it comes to out in the public, except for when it comes to Advocare and this kind of training. I love this stuff. And I love talking on stage. But I am an introvert when it comes to talking to people because I'm just like super tunnel vision. Like, I'm going to eat my meal. Don't talk to me. But when you're intentional
Yeah.
and you want people on your list, you're going to perk up.
Mhm.
So I looked at her and I said, and this is the first time I've ever been this creative because I think I might have just got back from my training. So I was all excited. So I was like, girl, I go, today is your lucky day. I said, oh my gosh. I said, we're going to give you a spark and you're going to have the best night of your life. I said, you're going to be running circles around your customers that you're going to have such an awesome night. You're going to get so many tips. Oh my God. She couldn't wait to try it. She's like, hurry up. I can't wait to try it. So Alan runs out to his car, gets a water. This girl's working as a waitress. He gets a water bottle. We dump a spark right then and there for her. So what you want to do is you want to take your water bottle, take the cap off, ask her to drink it down to about, here so you can get the product in, right? Say, just say, take a couple sips. People do it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. They actually do it. So you're like, hey, take a couple sips, and then you're talking to them. Well, they're, and that's good. You take the spark, you mix it for them, right? You take, I don't have it, but mix it for them. And you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe like you've never tried spark before. Seriously, like this, and then share your 30-second story with them. This like takes the cobwebs out of my brain. Oh my gosh, this is like I got the laundry done the other night because I had so much energy. Wow, I cleaned my house, whatever your story is, right? And then you're talking to them and you're shaking it like this. And you're like, I've been using this for 5 years. I literally don't even know how I'd go through my day without it. I have so much energy without today. You are seriously going to be calling me because you're going to love this so much. You take the cap off and just give it to them and keep the cap. The reason why you keep the cap is so they have to drink it right then and there. So this lady, I couldn't believe it. Right then and there, she drank the spark.
On the job.
On the job! So then I said, and this is another training nugget, I said, hey, give me your phone number. I didn't say, may I have your phone number, please? Or I don't want to be weird or anything, but I'm confident. Hey, give me your number. I'm going to call you because I'm going to call you tomorrow because I cannot wait to hear how many tips you got. You had so much energy. So now she was expecting my phone call. So I did. I called her the next day. And I had to leave her a message. My message was this. I just said, hey, I don't remember her name, Chancey or something. I was like, hey, Chancey, this is Angie. Your customers from last night. Thank you so much for your excellent service. We so enjoyed meeting you. I said, I cannot wait to hear from you. I bet you had just an awesome night with so much energy. And I can't wait to hear how many tips you got. Hey, give me a call. I'm available from about 3 to 6 tonight. Hope to hear from you tonight. She called me back. I ended up meeting with her, sat down with her, gave her an Advocare presentation, and she bought products from me. So that's one scenario. But if I was tired and unintentional and I didn't know what my pay period goals were, I would have just ate my dinner and
Bounce.
Chancey would have never bought products from me.
So it was just only the product. It was just only the product presentation, not the business presentation.
Right. So the goal is when you want to do a one-on-one, it depends. So
Yeah.
the people that, like he talked to his sister the other night, he's going to talk to her about the business. There's people that you're going to be able to talk to about the business. I talk to my close friends about the business because that made sense to me. Like, why would I want to do business with my friends? So I talk to them about the business, but we're a product-driven company. So if people, like I told you guys last night, if people don't like the product, they'll never have a business. So sometimes when I'm talking to a stranger, I can't jump in the business right away because I'm just that weird person. I'm thankful that we have a product that works because then we have a business that's on top of the products that work. Like, it's crazy. Most 9 times out of 10 people will join the business because they got results from the product. Sometimes we want to dive in with the business. Now you want to lead with the business. I lead with the business, meaning I'll sit down with someone and say, hey, you know, this is my story. I mean, I wrote down my story, which we'll talk about. Probably right here. Okay. So I had to master my story. So we talked about mastering your story and mastering the bulletproof shield. Because if you don't know your story, you're not going to have an effective one-on-one. And you're going to throw up all over your friends and tell them everything you heard about Advocare from A to Z and spend 2 hours on the phone with them. Right? You don't want to do that. You want to be very effective in your message. So for me, I had to package this. And it took me a while to really sit down and take time, just closed my door, took time, and wrote out my story. So my story is now, okay, this isn't my story 5 years ago. This is my current story. I lost 8 pounds and 3 inches over the holidays on the 24-day challenge, and I made an extra $7,000 part-time last month. That's me leading with the business. My goal in the next 90 days is to lose 30 pounds and pay off $18,000 in credit card debt. How does that sound?
18,000.
I mean,
Wait,
would
so
you?
you said part-time?
Part-time.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So the key words are part-time, because you have a full-time job.
Pay off debt is key, not the 18, but the fact that she's paying it
Yeah.
off.
So debt is the number one. I mean, every household has debt. So if you talk about debt with people, they're going to want to hear what you have to say. And you can share my story. Share my story that we paid off $35,000 in debt in 8 months. We paid off our car that would have taken us 5 years to pay off. No more car payments. Share that. That's who's helping you. So
You
that's
said- I'm sorry. You said with so when you make like 18, you said 18,000 when you
No,
make
we're going to pay off $18,000 in credit card debt.
Oh, okay.
in the next 90 days. I know, isn't that crazy to think about? Like,
numbers do matter. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The numbers, it stuck out to me.
see,
Yeah.
when Janelle told me she was making $12,000 a month, that stuck out to me. I'll never forget it 5.5
Yeah.
years later. So that's the power of leading with a business. So when you share my friend, Angie, she's going to pay off $18,000 in the next 90 days doing this part-time. If you just shared that, trust me, your friends are going to want to meet me. They're going to want to try product. They're going to want to know what this is. That's why your story is so imperative. If you're all over the place, that's what stuck out with you.
Yeah.
Things will stick out with your friends. Trust me. So, okay, let's talk about how to do an effective one-on-one. This is the first and foremost thing you must do. Here's what I want you guys to do. Write it out. Master a 30-second story and then a 2-minute story. And then email or text it to me. This took me a while to figure this out. So I had to look at, and your story's going to evolve as you get on product. Okay. Right now, you're going to talk about kind of, where you're at, what you've seen. The biggest thing is what you see in Advocare doing for you. That's really, really the biggest thing.
Right.
And it could be exactly what I just shared. If that stuck out with you, share it. She's going to pay off $18,000 in the next 90 days. Part-time with Advocare. Everything's part-time. Because people do not have time to add one more thing to their life. They don't. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
if you say part-time, they're going to go, maybe I should look at this.
Yeah.
I shared Janelle's story because I didn't have one. I love Spark, and that's all I had. But I had a hope and a dream because she was making $12,000. She was a hairdresser. So I trusted her. Do you need a Spark? Do you want a Spark?
Oh,
Are you tired? You look tired.
yeah, I could use this part.
Okay. You know what? Do you want to help yourself? There's water bottles out on the back patio. Mm-hmm. And then there's Spark. I'm sorry, I didn't even offer you guys any. Rude.
Yeah, these are those chocolate banana packets.
The chocolate banana packet.
Yeah, you've given out chocolate banana, not the bar, but it was a powdery.
Oh, the peanut butter. Chocolate
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Yeah, chocolate peanut butter. I don't know why.
Did y'all mean to drink it today and
Oh,
didn't share with you?
No, she didn't drink it. She was saying that was hers. I wanted to try. some.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I have an extra one for sure. Yeah.
The meal replacement. You
Yeah.
talking about?
Let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Oh, we have. Let's not take a 5-minute break. I didn't see how many people we have people on here, so I'm gonna keep going.
I had a meal replacement shake today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It was
Yeah. What flavor?
very.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make it. I had to do it.
Okay, so I'm sorry. The Spark is in that counter right next to the fridge. Okay. So now let's talk about. Okay, get your story down. Right. Don't do anything until you get your story down. I mean, I shouldn't say don't do anything, but your story is imperative.
You said
I shouldn't say don't, scratch that.
Just put your story down.
Just get your story down.
Got you.
Take time out.
I like how you did your story. Like it's very effective because it is straight to the point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is my results on the 24-day challenge. I don't need to share with you what the 24-day challenge is.
Right.
I'll get a one-on-one appointment with you to do that. Then I'm just impacting. What I'm trying to do is get 2 hooks to hook you in to ask questions.
Can you repeat? Yeah, because you said 2 things, right?
Yeah, so I said I lost 8 pounds and 3 inches over the holidays on the 24-day challenge and made an extra $7,000 part-time last month. My goal, because this is the most important, where am I going with that? What am I going to do with it? So my goal in the next 90 days is to lose 30 pounds and pay off $18,000 in credit card debt. Now I have to memorize this because if I'm in the elevator talking to someone and I'm wearing Advocare colors or whatever, and they say, hey, what's Advocare? I'm going to say to them, have you ever heard of it? And they're going to say no. And I'm going to say, well, wow, I lost 8 pounds and 3 inches over the holidays on the 24-day challenge. It's irrelevant what Advocare is. It's to impact them, right? And I say this all the time to people. I will talk about money because I want business builders on my team. So I just say, you know what? I made an extra $7,000 part-time last month with this spark. I might be sparking right then and there. And I might say, yeah, I made an extra $7,000. Bella. I made an extra $7,000 last month part-time with this stuff.
Oh, goodness. So 7,000. So that's 30. So that's like 3,500 biweekly, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We made $79,000 last year. So the most we've ever made in 1 month was $13,000, and the most we made in 1 year was $91,000. Last year was just, I barely worked the business.
Okay, so it depends on like how persistent you are.
I'm building a team. So I'm building an organization. So it's taken me time to, find people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. During the time when you wasn't doing it.
Pretty much last year when we were in Spokane, I kind of sloughed off on really prospecting and just really working with who I had, and I wasn't really intentional with the business. So the last couple of years I haven't been well, last year mainly I wasn't that intentional.
You still never
I still made that money.
So a question, why do you drink it down?
Just to get it in there, so because when the spark powder hits the water, it clumps up. So if you have more room to shake it vigorously, that's why. Okay, so we're going to talk about the tools that we have to do an effective one-on-one. So the first thing you got to do, okay, let's say you have your list, okay? This is your list of people that you're going to prospect. So your first person, Kim. How do you know Kim? So I always write down, how do I know Kim? Well, cousin. Okay, Beth. How do I know Beth? Best friend. She'll listen to anything I have to say. Tom, my uncle. Jody, neighbor. So write down how you know them, and then make a list of at least 30 people, and that's where we're going to start. Okay? If you don't have a list, you don't have a business. Okay? Because off this list is how we're going to get your first one-on-one. You might just call your friend. I will say the best, most productive is to get in front of them.
Okay.
I found the more I can get in front of someone, the more success I'm going to have. And sometimes I need to get around about 3 or 4 times before I'll ever get into anything.
I don't know. So why do you write it down? Why do you do it? Why do you write that down?
So if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. You work off of a list. Every single person that's successful in Advocare will tell you, make a list, because you don't want to do anything mental. Never leave your fortune to your memory. You'll forget people, or you're just not productive without a list. It's your working capital. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I think about it as like sort of pointing us in the direction. I mean, if the goal is 30, you have your 30, then it helps you keep track.
Yeah. So I'll cross them off if they said no. I'll cross them off if they didn't like Spark. I'm like, okay, it keeps me in track.
So I guess that, like I know that previously we talked about, going all in. So we would need to make sure that we have a certain amount of spark, certain amount of product on hand to ensure that we're able to do that.
It's challenging. It's tougher to do this business without product. I don't know how people do it because, like pair. Are you looking for the bathroom? or-
Yeah, I just get lost.
I do too. Down the hall to the left.
That's
So funny. I used to always think it was right. Kella, you're in the way of the camera. Come on. Sorry. Oh, really? Yeah. So it's a way for you to keep on track, and you're gonna know who said yes, who said no. And for me, I cross them out. I highlight them. I black them out. I just know that because this is a numbers game, you guys. If you talk to 30 people, 10 of them will buy from you. Okay. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and numbers never lie. They just don't.
So I was saying, why do you write down? Oh, was you talking?
No. Well, I mean, I was, but I think you started first.
So go lay down.
And I was saying, why do you write down? Say, yeah, I mean a cousin. How do I know? Why do you
It's for me. It's mainly for me that I'm helping you. You don't have to write them down, but for me, I might say, hey, who are we talking to today? And you're going to say Jack. And I'm going to say, who's Jack? He's my cousin. I need to know because I need to know what kind of relationship you have with them. So I can mentor you and coach you on the right way to get in there and share your story with them. That's really the only reason.
I got somebody that wants to buy today.
Good. See, and if you have product on hand, your goal is to get rid of that product. Your goal is to get a plethora of people on product. So if you do have product on hand, it's that instant gratification. It's like, hey, I'll save you on shipping. I have a box of Spark in my car right now, $22.95. That's my main goal. How do I get it in your hand right now? If I have to wait 5 days, I just don't want to wait, but it can be done. But we always say it's like building up you're buying a franchise. Let's say you want to buy a hot dog stand because you heard it's successful. You go put a hot dog stand on the corner with no hot dogs. How do your customers buy? Right? You got to have hot dogs. They want buy it now. We're in a very instant gratification business. So anyways, okay. So we make your list and you're going to know your story, right? We're going to master that. Okay. And you're going to call your friend, or let's say it's your friend. Let's go down the road to try best friend, because your best friend can say anything to him, right? So let's say I'm going to call my friend that I used to work with. So I'm going to call my friend Cambria. And I'm super excited to share with Cambria. And I'm like, hey, Cambria, I have something I want to share with you. Have you ever heard of Advocare? And she's like, no, what is it? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I always said this. I always shared how I was introduced to it. So I always shared, hey, I just met a salon owner that told me she's making $12,000 a month in Advocare. And she's like, well, what is it? And I'm like, I tried the Spark stuff. So now I talk about what I tried. I tried this Spark stuff and it literally took the cobwebs out of my brain. Holy cow. I had so much energy for the day. I could not believe how much I got done that day. I feel so good. So now my friend's like, well, I want to try it. So now the next step is to give her samples. You have to have product on hand, at least give samples out. I don't know how, you can't do it. I'm just going to tell you right now. It's not impossible because nothing's impossible, but to be successful, I'm telling you how to have a successful one-on-one, right? To be successful, then I'm going to say, hey, let's get together. Let's meet. And I'm going to give you some free samples. Now, 2 things you can do when you're brand new, you can bring me to that meeting. Oh, by the way, I'm going to bring my friend Angie that I was just telling you about. Okay, and we set up a 2-on-1. Or you can meet them in person, like fly by, hey, let me drop it off at your house. Give them samples. I would give, depending on how much, Bella. Sorry.
What was she doing?
She's begging. She's not supposed to beg.
I was supposed to.
Can you move her? She wants to sit right in front of the camera. So, I lost my train of thought.
Have product on hand for samples to put in.
So yeah, your goal is to get a plethora of samples out there. So how now you want to get samples. So if I have someone that has influence over people, I'm going to give them probably 3 or 4 samples because I want them to try it. And I'll say, hey, Cambria, she knows a lot of people. I was like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to drink this for 3 days straight. And I'm going to call you on day 3. Tell them how to drink it. Make sure you tell them, hey, put it in a 16-ounce water bottle because they will clump it up and they're going to try and stir it in their water. It's clumped up. They're like, oh, this stuff sucks or oh, it's not good. Tell them how to drink it. Give them, so if you're in person, give them a water bottle right then and there and do what I just told you to do when you take the cap. Yep, keep the cap. Yep. Drink it right then and there. You know what they say? They'll go, it's funny how people just try anything. It's weird to me. Like, I I would not try something from a stranger, but people do all day long because your excitement is what gets them to try it.
Lonnie tries it.
No.
So they'll go like this, you guys. They'll go, oh, that tastes really good.
The Lonnie's very adventurous.
And then as they're saying it tastes really good, I'm like, yeah, I know. I literally, and then my friend Heidi, and then I might share another story with them. Now you want to share a couple stories with them. You might share my story, okay? Share Janelle's story. Share each other's stories, how you feel on product, know each other's stories.
Right.
Then the Impact magazine is full of stories. Okay, this is some homework that I would do. So the Impact magazine or the DVD, which is the Success DVD. This one,
Those two.
you gotta order these. So like 5 for $5, something like that. So
Oh,
order
that's
these
good.
and order these. Okay, these are the only tools that you need really to start your business. This one is visual and this one is reading. So I like to ask people, I'm gonna leave, when I do an effective one-on-one, I'm gonna leave them with 1 or 2 things. This is imperative for your success, okay? Leave them with 1 or 2 things. So I'll say, hey, are you more of a visual learner or do you like to read? If they say visual, I'll say, great, I'm gonna give you this. And it's based on what they're interested in. If they're interested in the business, this is my next step for sure, okay? They might be interested in the 24-day challenge. I'll say, hey, you know what, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this video and I want you to go right here and you point to where you want them to go. Go to the product's work. So you watch this video and know what you're sending your friend to.
Yeah.
And right here, there's a guy I want you to click on. His name is Ryan Crouch. And he has an awesome testimony. He talks about how he literally felt like he went into a time machine and walked out feeling 16 years younger. I know that story, you guys. That's what I usually will tell people to go to because it's a great visual and it's a great story. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to go products work. They're going to click on Ryan Crouch. They're going to do exactly what you tell them to do. Okay. But then they're going to look at more of this video. I've had people watch this video and literally come back and say, I want to do this business. I want to place an advisor order because they sat and watched the whole thing. I've had several people do that. So I might just tell them a couple things to look at. Hey, you know what? Why don't you go to Drew Brees, our national spokesperson, and listen to why he uses Advocare? Or hey, you know what? I want you to go to the Debt Buster system, and I want you to hear some testimonies of how people have paid off over $20,000. Know a story on here and point to that story. Remember, so if you were to go to law school to make what lawyers make, how many years would you have to go to law school being away from your family? This might take you a couple hours to sit down and know these stories out of here and package your story. Do you think it's worth it to make an extra $5,000, $6,000 a month?
Yeah.
Yes. I encourage you to take time. What a lot of people do, they get so busy with life, they don't take time to sit down and learn these things. So another thing that Dan McDaniel does is he goes through the Impact magazine. He takes a black Sharpie and he tabs stuff because he knows the stories. We're a story-driven company. It's stories that sell. Facts tell, stories sell. So you want to talk about Dr. Stanley Dedrick. He invented the IV tube.
It's amazing.
Is he a billionaire?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
He probably has many medical patents.
He saved over 10 million lives. He's leaving a legacy. He's the reason why we have nutrition in the hospital. So when people want to say, is this a pyramid scheme? You know what? Do you think he'd be part of a pyramid scheme?
Right.
So you got to have this in your toolbox. You got to have this in your car, you guys. You got to get a man bag. You got to have this because you have a business.
I don't really think that, I guess as far as the pyramid scheme, I guess you would make some sort of income if you didn't, but I mean, it's not enough to where you would make the same amount of income if you were to continuously do it.
Well, you never want to answer that question anyway. So I'm going to go over before we close tonight how to effectively answer objections because we just got that the other night
Right.
with a sister, and you heard how I handled it.
Yeah.
So, I tab this because it's on the 24-day challenge. If I'm sitting down with someone, I'm going to go over the 20. This is great. It doesn't tell you the price. It just tells you what the 24-day challenge is. They can read it. You're so friendly. You're just big smiles.
I told you.
Then you want to talk about that we're, literally the nutrition line for Major League Soccer. It's kind of a big deal.
I said that all the time to the
Yeah.
2-3 people I talked to.
Yeah. And they want to say what's in it. You know what? I don't know. Does it really matter? Major League Soccer is drinking this stuff.
Yeah.
It's got to be good enough for them. It's good enough for me. And you walk away and they're like, drop the mic.
Mm.
And they're like, wait, I want what he has.
Mhm.
Right? It's confidence. It's all confidence. So here's another great page in the Impact Magazine. Talks about Drew Brees, Rich Froning. I don't know that guy. But these two I'm going to talk about. 5-time CrossFitter, fittest man in the world is one of our endorsers in Advocare. Drew Brees is our national spokesperson in Advocare. So this has so much power in it, you guys. This is all you need to leave someone, because guess what? They're going to go home and they're going to be flipping through it. They're going to go to the website. They're going to be looking at like, wow, this is a pretty credible company. I might want to be a part of this. This is what Derek's doing. And he's going to be paying off how much debt? His friend paid off how much debt? I might want to look at this, right? This is how to do an effective one-on-one. Okay. This is where you don't need to say too much to people. All you need to share your story, give them some samples, leave them with this. Hey, I'll get back to you. When's a good time to follow up with you? Let them do their research. Let them recruit themselves. You don't need to convince people. They'll recruit themselves.
Curiosity.
Yes, they will recruit themselves. I promise you that. I literally was in an event like a month ago, and I was a leader in a group. I was leading them and just assisting. So I took my group out to lunch. There was like 6 of us. And we were all out to lunch. We had about another 6 hours to go. And they were all yawning and tired. And I thought, you know what? Here's my opportunity. I'm going to spark all of them. Because they're all yawning. I'm just like, hey, you know what? I have Spark in my purse. By the way, you have to make sure you have Spark in your purse. Have a man bag somehow. Have Spark in your car. Wherever. You got to have Spark in water bottles. Yeah. Okay. So then, so I pulled it out of my purse. And I just said, hey, I literally went like this. Threw her one, threw her one, threw her one, threw her one. I said, hey, drink this. This is going to keep you alive and alert for the next 6 hours. Literally makes you feel, that's all I said. It'll keep you alive and alert for the next 6 hours. So we go into our meeting, and about 10 minutes after our meeting started, I get this girl coming up to me with a note. And I read the note and I was like, what? I read the note and it says, hey, I've heard of Advocare. I love Spark. I've tried it before. I think I might be interested in the business. I was like, what? She recruited herself. All I did was give her samples. So the products work, you guys. And so, and if you got someone that says, hey, it didn't do anything for me, it didn't work, again, you know what? It may not be for them.
Right.
It works for you.
Right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be here tonight. Right? You don't need to convince people.
Also, I have a question.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask this yesterday, but I don't think I was ready. But like, what about like, how? So, I guess let's just say if I was like level 1, you know, actually advertising, just telling them like the story, and like they want to know like the benefits, like what's in the product, and like how would I answer if they ask questions about like medical, like if it's counteracting like.
So that's our bulletproof shield.
Hmm.
So that's what we call the bulletproof shield.
Okay.
So the bulletproof shield is, which is a great question because you're going to get all these. So this is, you can download this on advoarmy.com, okay, which is Mike and Janelle's website. Tap that. So as far as like the business training goes, this is the bulletproof shield. This is how you can feel confident when you're sitting down with a one-on-one and you're just giving a sample and leaving an Impact Magazine just to spark interest, right? And then they are going to, well, what's in it? What's this? What's that? And you're like, you know what? This is the best thing you can say. I don't know a whole lot about that, but here's what I do know. Okay, so remember, you're going to master, I'm going to tell you after tonight, master 2 things, your story and the bulletproof shield. This is universal. Every single person that's successful in Advocare has mastered this. You know what? So what's in it? What are the ingredients in it? Or is it like Plexus? What's the difference between Advocare? I just got that today. What's the difference between Advocare and Plexus? And I just said, hey, you know what? I don't know a whole lot about Plexus, but here's what I do know. I lost 8 pounds and 3 inches over the holidays on the 24-day challenge. So I'm going to share my results. So it says right here, your story plus 2 others. This is why you got to master stories. You know what? I don't know a whole lot about that, but what I do know is that my friend Angie lost 8 pounds, 3 inches over the holidays on the 24-day challenge. And, you know, you got to share your story, or you might share Paris' story or Derek's story, someone that, you know, or a story you heard at an event. And then, or you can talk about the doctors, or you can talk about the non-paid endorsers. So I don't know a whole lot about that, but what I do know is that Drew Brees is their national spokesperson. And I don't know a whole lot about the ingredients. Like, it's totally irrelevant to me. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And you just nip it.
I think I might have some issues with that. And the reason why is that, like, I know some people that have specific stuff that they cannot take.
So then what you want to do from there, say, you know what, let's get on the phone with my friend Angie.
Okay.
Just say, I'm gonna get you help. Okay. I'm just learning myself. You have to embrace the fact that you don't know anything.
Yeah,
That's not, I don't have a problem saying that.
Okay.
It's just that, like, I was talking to my mom and some of my family members and stuff like that. Like I mentioned, I asked before there was caffeine free, because I asked if there's a caffeine.
Remind me to get you a sample of that. Yes.
Because my mom has a heart condition. She can't take Spark. And there are some people in my family that are extremely allergic to random substances. So it's a little bit dodgy for me to be telling them, well, I don't know. They're like, no.
Well, the best thing you want to do from that point is bring me in. That's where you want to employ me. Say, hey, you know what?
That's going to throw them all the way.
Yeah. Just say, I'm going to get you some help. You know, when I'm just learning myself, I'd love to get you that answer. Let's get on the phone with my coach who's helping me, my friend Angie who's helping me. Okay. And she'll help you. And that's the best way you can get me on the phone with someone.
So that's caffeine-free Spark?
It's called V16. It's not a Spark though. It's a mental focus drink, but it's like a fizzy. So it's got Everson.
All the vitamins.
Got all the vitamins and minerals and mental clarity, but it's caffeine free. So yeah.
Okay.
So does that help?
Yeah, it helps because I mean, all I look at it as is customer service because it's the same thing. Like when I've spoken to a receptionist on my job, I think like from what I see, it's like it's okay to say I don't know, or you don't have to like explain or give a comparison, but it's like you're coming up with a story, or you're just like saying, oh, well, I know this can actually do this. You know, you're kind of like throwing in other stuff to fit.
Well, because you guys weren't at any of the training, but this is our success wheel. So the success wheel goes like this. You want to have a one-on-one, and when you start getting questions like that, it's your greatest opportunity to get them to the next step. The next step is, you know what? I don't know a whole lot about that. I'm still learning myself. Why don't we do this? My friend Angie is mentoring me and coaching me. She's been doing Advocare for 5 years, and she's excellent at helping people. Let's get on the phone with her. I don't ask, can you, will you? I say, hey, let's just get on the phone with her. They'll do what you say. Let's just get on the phone with her. When are you available? I'll see if she's available that time. Give me a couple times. So I like a couple times. So you can text me real quick, say, hey, I've got this, you know, my mom, when can you talk to her? She's available Thursday at 5, or you might text me and I'll give you 2 times that I'm available. And then we just plug in, like Paris today. I gave her 2 times I was available. Usually one of those works. So I gave her tonight at 5 or Thursday at 5. And Thursday at 5 was what worked. So we just set it up. It's going to be like a conference call. I'll give you a number that we can all call into. You call in, I call in, your friend calls in. And then you introduce me and just say, hey, this is my friend Angie that I was telling you about. She's been doing Advocare for 5 years. She's helped a lot of people. I really want to make sure that you get, you know, your questions answered. So, Angie, this is my friend Tim. Tim is Angie. And then you mute your phone so you don't interrupt.
Yeah.
Because if you interrupt, then it just derails me. So you just mute your phone out and I'll take over from there. And that's really how you learn. The best way to learn this business is just go talk to people, call for mentorship, call for advice on what do I do next. And I'm going to guide you like, hey, we're either going to get on the phone with them. We can either meet them in person. I mean, we just start talking about all these people. But I had a friend of mine that was doing this for 2 years. And she might even be on this call, but she was doing it for 2 years. And she never, ever employed her leader. And she was great at selling product, but she never employed her leader. She never could build an organization of a team of people until she started employing me, because I bring the credibility, I bring the strength, and I bring the stories that she just didn't have yet. She didn't understand the business. So then she started bringing me in, and now she's penning silver this pay period, which is the first leadership.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to apologize, but
that's okay.
Yeah, I have some questions. So like, what if, let's see. So has there been like a story, or have you known a person that have been successful without building a team, or does it seem like it's
they sell a lot of product?
Yeah, they sell a lot of product,
but you don't. You can sell a lot of product and be not. I mean, you can make money, not successful. To be successful, you're building an organization. You're building a team.
I think for me, I think that because even being a distributor is only $79. The discount, if I was heavy into the product, because sometimes people buy in for the discount for the products, especially if they're about the long term. So that can also help make that. So I think that You want me? Oh. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not compared to other fitness programs. I won't say that it's extremely expensive to buy in for the, like there's the wholesaler and stuff like that that can get the discount because people, if you present them with a way that they can get the results and then help maintain the results where they're not paying full-time price for the products, they might buy in and then, what?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought she was still in the bathroom.
So for me at least, I was, when I heard the 20-30% off, 24-day challenge and stuff like that, some people do because the health industry can be expensive, especially with weight loss supplements and stuff like that. So, and then like it only costs $79 for them to become a distributor. But then if somebody sees results, and this is how people catch on because it's not really expensive to get in.
Yeah.
It's not, and so they could just get in just for the discount, and then if they decide to, they can sell. But if they want to, they could just purchase their own product at a discount price.
Yeah.
So I think regarding that, I think you would have to work hard not to build a team.
Yeah.
That would have to be purposeful
Yeah.
to not build a team.
Well, there's people out there that'll sell, but like you might have a personal trainer that's out there selling a bunch of retail and never building a team. I mean, we just went into a gym yesterday that wants to put it in their gym. Then she'll probably never build a team because that's not her vision. My vision is to build a lifelong business that's going to pay me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I need to build a team to do that, right? I'm looking for business builders. There's a bunch of people out there, and it's really, to build a diamond, it's only 12 business builders.
Yeah.
It's not that many, but
Say it again.
12. That's it. To diamond. I mean, we have 6, so we're halfway there.
Yeah.
So we need 6 more business builders.
So what's a business builder?
A business builder is like you guys. You place an advisor order. We don't have to place an advisor order. A business builder is coming to trainings that want to build a team. Pretty much want to build a team
Oh, okay.
that's going to build a residual income that you're looking to go to the next level each time. That's a business builder. Shows up to every event. Because then there's hobbyists that they just want to make a little extra money, but they're not going to get led by me.
Gotcha.
We're not going to help them build a team because they don't want to build a team. They might set up distributors here and there. They might share a product, but they're not like, hey, I'm looking for 3. Because to build a team, you're looking for 3 business builders to develop a team of people. A team of people on products, retail customers, wholesale customers, and advisors. So I don't think you've seen that yet, what that looks like. But
No, not at all.
So to get to that group, so you got to have basically 3. So basically, I have 3, and then they get their 3.
Yep.
And then they get their 3.
Yep.
So then I hit 12. Got you.
yeah. Well, you want 12 frontline to you.
12 front line.
Yeah, 12 frontline.
How do you? Okay, I got you.
So like, let's say they're your first advisors.
Mhm.
That's 1.
And then it's gonna get
Then you get
more.
11 more of business builders. They have to be business builders,
Okay.
meaning they're coming to training, they're showing up. So how I built a Ruby in 3 months, because I had 3 business builders, like-minded people there too. Huh?
Is that built to Ruby?
Yeah.
Okay.
You only need 3 to build a Ruby.
Yeah.
But it's the like-minded people. It's people with integrity.
Yeah.
It's people that say are going to do what they say they're going to do. They're going
Yeah.
to show up when they say they're going to show up.
Mhm.
It's they're coming to trainings. They're coming to events. They're on our training calls. They have a vision. They have a goal to make $1,000 or more. Those are the people that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're hard to find.
Yes, they are.
hmm
So Ruby is that's the first in leadership. Or how does it?
So no, that's actually like a 4th to diamond is Ruby. So silver is the first leadership level, and then gold is the 2nd leadership level. You only need 1 person to go for gold. If it's a go-getter though, because it's all based on volume. It's all based on volume produced underneath you. So it goes silver, then gold, and then 3-star gold. You have to have 3 advisors at least to go to 3-star gold, 3 frontline to you.
So it doesn't take long basically at all.
Depends on how many people you're talking to a day.
So, okay, so tell me if I wanted to get to Ruby, and we know where we at, what would we do?
So if you want to get to Ruby in how long?
This is like 3 months.
So I did it in 6 months.
You did it in 6.
So I can tell you what I did. So I was doing 3 or 4 mixers a week. So he's asking me if anybody's still on this call. Wow, we still have some viewers. It's late over there. So I was talking to probably 10 people a day, sharing my story, my one-on-one, sharing my story, sampling. I was willing to spend $100 a month. I'm going to tell you my mindset. I was willing to spend $100 a month in sampling people if it was going to pay me $3,000 a month. That was my mindset. So I was investing in my business. We invested in, we invested in everything that I have. I've invested in. We've invested in impact magazines. I invested in leadership books. I invested in paying, these guys just became an advisor. I gave them 2 books. I'm investing in my time. I'm investing in them. So I did that for every advisor I had. I was constantly doing stuff like that. So we did 4 mixers a week, and that was in other people's living rooms. So we might do one in our living room, and then 3 in your living room, your friend's living room, your advisor. So if you get someone to sign up, you're going to go do mixers in their living room. So I did 3 or 4 a week, but I was talking to 10 people a day. I probably had 2 to 3 appointments a week with Janelle. And then I always went to Saturday trainings, and I always went to BLMs. That's all I did. Over and over and over for 6 months, I did that. For me, when I didn't want to go, because that couch is way comfortable, I'd force myself to go. Or if I got invited to something, I'd force myself to go. Like a girlfriend invited me to a jewelry party, and I'm like, I don't wear jewelry. I mean, this is all I wear, and just I've worn this for years, and my wedding ring, and that's about all I wear. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to a jewelry party, but I knew there was going to be a ton of women there. And I actually had plans with Alan to have a date night. He's like, just go. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went, but I was really intentional when I went. And I knew that if I'm going to go, I'm not messing around. Someone is going to hear about Advocare. So I go, and everyone's drinking and whooping it up. And I'm like, oh, I can't hang out with this. Because I wasn't drinking, and that just wasn't my thing. But I was like, I was determined to meet someone. And I knew my story. So this is like 4 years ago. So in walks this one gal, and she was kind of lost looking around. And so I'm like, okay, prospect. So I walked over to her, and I was like, hey, how's it going? Who do you know here? Just start talking to her, getting to know her. Now, we were just talking like for a good half hour. So then, everyone asked, what do you do? So the greatest thing you can ever say to someone is tell them what you do. Well, full-time I work at this job, but I have a part-time business called Advocare. Have you ever heard of it? And then you tell them your 30-second story. So I told her that. I said, well, I have a part-time business called Advocare. Have you ever heard of it? And she's like, no, what is it? And I said, well, I lost 12 pounds and 4 inches on the 24-day challenge, and I've already made $5,000 this last month, because that's where I was at. And she was like, what? It's like, I know, right? Part-time. And she goes, what? And I'm like, want to try it? She didn't care what it is. She's like, yeah, I want to try it.
Somebody said $5,000.
Yeah. So I found out she was hiking the next day. And so I was prepared. I had my product in my purse. So I gave her some Spark and Rehydrate. I used to carry that. So I'd have Rehydrate. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to have, and Slam. I used to carry Slam. So I'd have Slam, Rehydrate, and a Spark. I'm like, girl, seriously, you're going to have such a great hike tomorrow. You paint vision. Like, this is how it's going to make you feel. Tell people, this is how, don't just like, God, I hope it works. They're on my prospect list. I hope it works. No, tell them how they're going to feel. They're going to thank you for it. You got to be proud of what you have. This is your business, Man, you're going to feel amazing tomorrow. Give me your number. I'll call you tomorrow. I can't wait to hear how you liked it. That's how I do it to everybody. Give me your number. I've never had anybody to not give me their number. So she gave me her number. I called her the next day, and I'm like, what'd you think? She's like, I really feel good. She's like, I was a little hungover. She goes, I drank that stuff. I feel really good. I'm like, I know, right? It's really awesome. I'm like, hey, what are you doing Thursday night? So now I needed to move her into the next step. Yeah. What are you doing Thursday night? We had a big event. I wanted to get her that. And then she's like, I'm not sure why. I said, I'd love to, pick you up and bring you to an event we have. And maybe this is, you can check it out and see if it's for you or not. I don't know. She's like, okay. So I did. I picked her up. Act like I've known her forever. Picked her up. She came. She went. She actually became an advisor, came to Successful. I mean, it was crazy. That's what intentionality does. So to answer your question, it's doing all those things of 10 people a day, mix more mixers equals more money. If you're not getting into people's living rooms, it's going to be tough. I'm having a mixer next week. I mean, you guys seen what a mixer is, but it's a great way to catapult 3 or 4 people at a time. Then those 3 or 4 people at a time, they go out and they're on product. Once you get 30, so have this goal, get 30 people on product. That's your goal. So until you get 30 people on a product, it could take you a month. That could take you 10 days. I don't know. You determine that speed, okay? So remember this too. The speed of the leader determines the speed of the pet.
Yeah, so even like with the books and the magazine, does it tell you like any of the ingredients that's in the product?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Because I mean, I wanted to like learn more about
Sure.
it so I can be motivated
Yeah.
to tell people.
So you can go onto your own website and
Yeah.
click on the picture of the product,
Yeah.
and then it'll say like product page or something like that in blue. Click on that, and all the nutritional facts are on the back.
Okay.
I mean, I literally wrote down every single ingredient that was in Spark. I needed to know for me.
Mm.
Not that I was going to tell anybody, because you don't want to do Advocare suicide, which is tell them all the ingredients and tell them everything that's in it. That's called Advocare suicide. If you do that, you've completely lost your friend. Your only job is to share your story and sample product, and then lead them to me and get an appointment over the phone or in person. I mean, either or. Does that make sense? You missed the whole wheel, but yeah, we can go over that later. That's our success system, because if you tell them too much, and it's based on what you're sharing with them. But if you tell them too much, you've given them they'll either say yes or no to you, and then you want to get them past you. Your goal is to get them past you. If you can get them past you to me, I'm leading you. I'm leading you to be successful. And so you want your friend to come. You want your friend to sit down with me, but you're with me. You, me, plus. So this says one-on-one, you plus your friend. The number 2 is you plus your leader, either through a 3-way phone call, a 2-on-1, or a webinar. Don't do anything without your leader. If you do anything without your leader, that's Advocare suicide.
Okay.
And you don't want to do it.
I actually like that. It forces you to build community.
Totally. And I mean, that's what you want. You guys are here. Guess who is your leader?
You. Me?
But I mean, think about it. Okay, you're here being led by me, but you're actually signed up underneath Latrice, who's signed up underneath Cindy, who's signed up underneath Beth.
Mhm.
Those 3 are not here. This is why it's important for you to let me help you build a team. Because I will go to the nth degree with you. You take 2 steps, I take 1. But I will match your effort. I promise you that. I will absolutely match your effort. Sorry, my dog. So, I mean, that's pretty much all we need to go over tonight as far as mastering your story. Your story starts the day you said yes to Advocare. So your story is what you saw, and then you got to talk about how you feel on product. If you're yawning in front of your friend, they're watching you. You got to have your game on to be a champion. You want to be Ruby in 6 months?
Yeah.
Your game needs to be on.
We're gonna be moving this guy.
No, it's gonna be 3.
There you go.
So that means 30 people a day.
There you go. I mean, really, have your game on. Be a champion. Have a champion mindset. Talk to 10 people a day. You can't do it long enough. If you're talking to 10 people a day, guess what? You're only going to get better. How many shots did it take Michael Jordan or whatever? How many times did he have to fail?
Right.
I mean, the guy that invented the light bulb, how many times did he have to fail? I mean, you got to embrace. It's not that you're going to fail because we don't speak that out, but embrace the no's. Man, the no's would motivate me. No's made me fuel, because I knew that I could make money doing this, because I thought if she could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at me going, if she can do it, I can do it, hold on to that. Because I'll lead you to the Ruby level, because that's my job, to lead you to the Ruby level. And you just got to hold on to the vision, but don't seek perfection in Advocare. Don't try and know it all. Just embrace the success system. Embrace that you have a vision for yourself. Embrace that, because again, people are looking at you. They're following your message. What is your message? My message is this. I'm going to pay off $18,000 in the next 90 days with our Debt Buster program.
And I would love to pay off like 60 in like 9 months.
But look, you have a vehicle now called Advocare. If you didn't have Advocare and you didn't say yes to this business, how many extra jobs would you have to, think about that.
That's true.
How many extra hours would you have to put into work? The only way that my husband can ever make extra income is if he puts extra hours in his job. Well, with Advocare, you put in time and effort, and it'll build you guys a wealthy business for the rest of your life.
That's good.
I still have customers from 5.5 years ago that still buy Spark from me. I have a gal that goes in every other month and spends $300.
So currently, I'm sorry to ask this.
No, please ask away.
It's about the income. So like, you know that you've been in this business like for 5 years. Like, so what is your income right now, if you don't mind me asking?
What is our income in Advocare?
Yeah. Like, I'm just saying your personal income.
And Advocare. I only do
Yes.
Advocare.
Oh, you don't?
I only do Advocare. So is that what you
That's
mean? My
yeah.
personal income? I could tell you if I had my phone.
Yeah, not like an Advocare.
Yeah, I mean, I could give you exactly what I made last pay period. Where's my phone?
You said you had.
Are you logging on?
Oh, where's my phone?
No, you could.
No.
Your iPad.
Sit down, Joshua.
Okay. We still have viewers? Yeah. Okay.
Is this one your house?
This is Miss Angie's house.
And Alan. So you get paid every 2 weeks in Advocare. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I got paid the last check.
Is it direct deposit?
Yeah. So last check was
$2,000.
$2,800.93.
Uh-huh.
Last for 2 weeks.
That's what
Yeah.
you want.
The one before that was $3,315.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
You said you netted around 79 last year?
Last year we made 79. That was our W-2 was 79,000.
Oh, okay.
That's real good.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, make that.
And
Crazy.
I remember you said like for somebody that was in there for first year, they made like they somehow gradually made like 15,000 a month, like from the ninth month.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So what about like with the success system, like after you get through the entire wheel, like has there been people that have expanded their business with creativity? Like what do you say about creativity?
Don't go against the success system.
Okay. This
It's already been invented. Charlie Regis, who created Advocare, invented the success system for every distributor to be successful. People do try and get creative and they do crazy stuff
okay.
and they go off on their own and they're not coachable and they end up just getting frustrated and they quit. We've
Okay.
seen it.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask about that, but it sounds like
It depends on what it is. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many things. Like if you have a vision for what you think could work, ask.
Yeah.
I mean, but what we don't want to do is go against the success system. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you, yay or nay. I mean, I'm in the leadership team in Advocare. I've been trained by corporate. I'm one of the leaders here in Washington. So I kind of do know what to do and what not to do. There's legalities with Advocare. You can't sell on Facebook. They'll nip you. You cannot sell product on Facebook or social media. You can share your story and testimonies on Facebook, but if you start selling on Facebook, they'll pull you. Because we got to keep this clean business because, I mean, this is my sole income. I don't want people messing around. I turned someone in. Well, it ticked them off, but I don't want credibility out the door because I'm protecting this house as far as this is our income. This is our vision for our legacy. This is where I'm going to get my husband home and we can travel the world together.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess with weird stuff that's out there because we're not just a direct sales company. We're very special. The reason why people love Advocare so much is because we're special people that are leading this company. And it's if it's not integrity, don't do it. I don't know what you're thinking. You can ask me, but
I have nothing.
you can do booths. We set up a booth in a gym the other day. I had a line of people waiting to try Spark. Now I have 12 people that I got to go call and follow up with.
Yeah, and like that's like one.
Yeah,
nice idea.
totally.
Like booths. Yeah.
You can do booths in colleges. You can do booths anywhere.
Okay.
You can do,
But stay away from social media. As far as selling.
you can't sell on social media, but there's ways that you can promote on
Yeah.
social media. Actually, if you go onto your website, all the legalities, the compensation plan is on there. Read through it because it sounds like you would probably love it.
Mhm.
It's about 39 pages of how you get paid.
Mhm.
It's got do's and don'ts. It's got how to effectively use Facebook, how to use social media. It's all on there.
Okay.
It's under, well, I can tell you. It's on your website and it's under,
Policies and procedures.
it's actually not anymore.
It's not.
So it's under My Advocare under legal forms and documents, downloading forms. So if you click on legal form and documents, then it's under policies and procedures. Literally all of their policies and procedure plan is on there. Like this is your business
Mhm.
and your 1099 means you're an independent distributor, but there is certain legalities that the company has. The company. So yeah. So, and all we're saying is in order to be successful, what you don't want to do is what we call Advocare suicide, is go out on your own and do your creative plan or do something that doesn't, without employing your leader.
Right, yeah, of
If
course.
you employ your leader is going to bring you, help you bring success. Where we lock arms, we do it together. So, like I said, you take 2 steps, I take 1, because if we do it together, then you're going to be successful because you're not doing it alone. So the wheel, I'm going to just read, you guys can hang up if you want. We have one viewer. Was that you?
No, I'm off.
Oh, okay. So the wheel again is, we just talked about how to do an effective one-on-one, right? So from there, your leader, who is me, I'm going to help you move them through the wheel. I'm going to help you, because again, it is a community. People want to be a part of something. So what we do next is we get one more layer. It's like an onion. You're peeling back the onion. So one more layer is, you're going to do a, sorry, I don't know who's on here, but I'm going to move it down so I can see. You're going to do, so your friend's interested, they're asking you 20 questions and you've got the bulletproof shield and you're like, you know what, let's do this. I'm going to get you, let's meet. I want to get you some more information. I'm going to have my friend Angie come in and talk to you, or we can do a 3-way phone call. In person's always going to be the best way because it's building that trust with me, because they don't know me. They're not going to trust me. And what you don't want to do is say, hey, I'm going to have my friend Angie call you. That never works, ever. I've tried it. And you're funny, Whitney. You can go to bed. So anyway, if you do, sorry, I lost my thought. Okay, one-on-one, you're like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get in front of my friend Angie. She knows more than I do. I want you to talk to her. I want you to hear about it, how I heard about it. When's a good time for you to get together? So we're going to do either a 2-on-1 at a Starbucks or your home. You can bring them to your house. Just call me and say, hey, I've got a friend. This is what they're interested in. I'm going to lead you where to go with them. Tomorrow night, there's a webinar tomorrow night. So we might just get them, like I'm getting his sister on, hopefully, getting on a webinar. I sent her the link. He'll follow up with her, make sure she got on, because that's another great way to get another layer of the business. She's interested in the business. And she hasn't even tried product yet. So we might need to go back and get her own product first before we can ever move her into this, right? Because if people don't like products, they'll never go anywhere with it. They just won't. If they love the product and they're like, holy cow, it does exactly what you said it's going to do, I want to know more, right? It's all on how effective you are on your first initial contact with them is going to determine this part right here. So many people don't do this part and they're trying to get into a mixer. Well, they didn't even sample a product and they're trying to get them into a mixer. People do it, but that's because you have influence over them.
Right.
That's how Latrice got so many people over to her house, because she has influence over them. She'll pretty much tell you what to do and you'll do it because she's just a credible person, right? So, I mean, I love painting vision. I love the art of promotion. I love saying to people, hey, what are you doing Thursday night? I really, really want you to come with me. Oh my gosh, I'll buy your ticket. Or, if it's delayed, I just said that to a gal today. I'm just really trying to get her to come to something. And I'm like, I want you to come. I want you to get up. And it's the art of promotion. It's how you're promoting the event. Because remember what you're competing with. Their time. Time's valuable. You can't get someone here if you've not even shared your story or product yet. And now you're trying to get them to come to an event on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock at night. They're like, no, my favorite show's on, right? But if you say to them very effectively, I'm going to make $6,000 a month in the next 6 months, and my friend Angie's paying off $18,000 in debt in the next 90 days. This is what these products are doing for us. I'm all in. I'm looking for a team of people. I mean, it depends on what you say to them, how confident you are in your message. That's why you must get your story down. You have to get it down. Write it on a card, you guys. Memorize it. Memorize this. Have it written down. And then what I did is I recorded it on my phone. And then I listened back. So I heard myself. And I remember going, oh, that sounds stupid. Oh, God. Is that what I sounded like? Oh, that didn't sound. I wasn't confident. I was weak. It took me probably 20 times to do this until my weak message got confident. I was like, whoo, that was good. Now I felt good about it. So I wrote this down. Now I felt good about it. I just had someone just on the fly ask me because she was trying to learn, and she was like, so what is your story? I was like, well, I lost 8 pounds and 3 inches over the holidays on the 24-day challenge, and I just made an extra $7,000 last month. In the next 90 days, I plan on paying off $18,000 in credit card debt. Part-time. She's like, oh, Okay, yeah, I guess your story. Like I spent some time on that.
Hmm.
I just didn't figure that out,
Wow.
So get your story down
Wow.
and then just email it to me or text it to me and I'll help you get it. Because a lot of times you don't know what your story is when you're brand new. So just, send me a picture of it or whatever and I'll help you package it so it sounds good. So you want that hook. It depends on, are you talking about the business or are you talking about product?
Hmm.
So that's pretty much it. Whitney hung up, so we can hang up that.
So also, I was talking to my other girlfriend today, and she was asking. She heard of Advocare,